Welcome to the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. You can catch us Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on FS1. Here's what this podcast is all about. It's an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the day's show, and there is a lot to get into in today's podcast. Skip breaks down why the Boston Celtics are just another cakewalk for LeBron and the Cavs and calls for the La Sweep. Speaking of the Celtics, we have former NBA champ Eddie House in studio to make the argument why his former teammate Paul Pierce, a.k.a. The Truth, is wrong and the Celtics should not trade the number 1 overall pick in the upcoming NBA draft. Shannon says with 8-ounce gloves, no way can McGregor knock out Mayweather with one punch, but Floyd can throw a 15-pack at Conor. Our friend and host of the I Am Rappaport Stereo podcast, Michael Rappaport, is back to tell us why he wouldn't pay a dime for Conor versus Floyd, and says why we should sit back and embrace the dominance showed by the Cavs and Warriors. Plus, Hall of Famer Chris Carter is here to give his take on the Tom Brady concussion situation, and Chris and Shannon explain what pillow talk really is. Skip and Shannon, where should we start today?
You showed up today.
Whoa.
You'd be so ashamed of that scrimmage we had to watch last night, that lack of competition.
What's all this about, Skip? What's on your mind, Skip?
Saying, welcome, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, Joe, how are you today?
I'm good.
Nice. That's nice dressing this.
Are you ever going to say it's not nice?
No,
No.
that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
All my dresses are nice.
They're very nice. I like the hair. I love the updo.
Thank you.
I dream of Jeannie.
Is it? She has like a higher long
it's a
ponytail thing.
whole different look.
Let's get it started with a blowout win by the Cavs. They showed no rust in their 117-104 win against the Celtics. LeBron had 38 points and 9 rebounds. And Kevin Love added a playoff career-high 32 points. The Cavs never trailed last night and are now a perfect 9-0 in the playoffs. Let's take a listen to LeBron after the game.
There seemed to be a relentlessness or a ruthlessness in your game and in your approach tonight. Is that for you? Is that for your teammates, or is that for the opponent?
Well, I think it's the mindset that you have to have when you go on the road for game one. You can't start the game off, lax or shooting a bunch of jump shots. And that's my mindset. I have to be in attack mode and just put the pressure on the defense and see what happens. And I don't even think we played, that great tonight. We definitely didn't shoot the ball, as well as we capable of shooting. I know Kyle had 3 or 4 very, very good looks that he missed, when we had a good stretch. But, I think the energy and the effort and the mindset was where it needed to be.
It's hard to believe, but he's better than when I got into the league, a lot better. And just as you get older, you gain more experiences, you see more things. I didn't think he could get any better after that, but he is. He's a good player, great player.
Just a good player. Shannon, how impressive was LeBron last night?
Did he say that?
Did you hear Brad Stevens?
I just heard that.
He said, I didn't think he'd get any better.
Oh.
How does a 38-year-old man get better, Skip?
I don't know. It's a miracle.
How impressive. I'm impressed. And it's hard to say very impressed, Skip, because if you look at the last 12 games that they played in the playoffs, I'm talking about consecutive games, Skip, going back to Game 5 of the finals against Golden State. 35, 10, and 8 on 54% shooting. This was just a continuation of that. It started last year when your boy Draymond called him a boss, got him upset.
Not exactly a boss.
Whatever, Skip.
Yep.
And it's the efficiency, Skip. 14 of 24, 13 of 18 in the paint. And when he had it going, he scored so easy. Made it look so easy. I know you were stewing over there, wasn't it, Skip?
Me?
Yeah, you were stewing. Did you hear what he told Avery Bradley and Marcus Smart? He said, I want y'all to go home tonight and put fertilizer in your shoes because y'all too small to guard me.
Really?
Yeah.
Fertilizer in your shoes?
Told Jay Crowder, he told Dre Crowder, you need to get in the gym, work on your bench.
Did he tell him
You ain't
that?
strong enough.
He's not.
Told
He never
Al
will be.
Told Al Horford and Kelly Olynyk, y'all need to bring track shoes on Friday because y'all too slow to guard me.
Too slow.
To the basket. 95 South. Straight to the basket. Skip, this is what Boston made a decision that says, okay, we're going to stay on the three-point shooters. And, hey, guys, they got the high pick and roll. They got Al Horford switched out on him. And he's like, you actually think I'm going to settle for this jump shot when I got you out here, Al? Whew, to the basket. Kelly Olynyk, come here. This for all that dirty play you did. I still ain't forgot that you jerked Kevin Love's arm out of the socket. Here, take that, man bun. How you like them apples? Skip, and I know you're going to say this is no competition.
How do you know what I'm going to say?
Because I know you. When he's playing like this, there are certain guys that when they get to a level and they play at that level, there's nothing you can do. You just stand there in amazement and in awe. He's playing at that level. We've seen guys play at that level. We've seen the guy that you love up in Chicago. They got the statue out front of the United Center. He's played at that level. And when he's playing at that level, there's nothing you can do. Skip, they have the most talent. They have the best player that's on planet Earth that breathes oxygen and can dribble a basketball. With that being said, Skip, I'm impressed, but I've been impressed since Game 5 of last year, and it ain't slowing down.
No, you've been impressed since December 30th. What was the year?
1984.
1984.
Gloria, right? Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Gloria.
Gloria, Gloria.
That's a jukebox from hell song. Are you finished?
I'm done, Skip.
Thank you.
I'm done.
I tried to tell you. You tried to convince me, Boston's going to win one game. And then yesterday you saw the light, you came to your senses, and you said, no, they're not going to win a game because this is going to be a le sweep, just like Indiana was a le sweep and Toronto was a le sweep. And this is going to be the all-time Eastern Conference cakewalk to an NBA Finals. LeBron, 7th in a row. That's very impressive, although you have to put a big asterisk beside it because in the Eastern Conference, he got to 7 straight finals. The Celtics have no chance against LeBron and company because the Cavaliers have not just the 1 or 2 best players on the court, they have the 4 best players on the court. Tristan Thompson last night, he was really good because he's a really good basketball player. I want him on my side. That's all I know.
Yep.
He made all 7 of his shots. He scores 20 points and gets 9 boards. If he's going to do that, it's not fair.
6 on the offensive end.
It's not a fair fight. And then don't worry, baby, but Mike Love's favorite nephew, Kevin Love, all he did was go for 32 and 12 last night. Kev, as LeBron calls him, Kev, like he's his little brother, Kev.
Dropping dimes.
32 and 12. Marcus Smart can't guard Kevin Love. I'm sorry, Brad Stevens, get this through your head. Marcus Smart has no chance. How tall is Marcus? I don't know. Is he 6'4", maybe?
Maybe 6'5".
He's stout now.
Yeah, but
Kevin Love is 6 feet 10 inches tall. And if Kevin Love goes and just obliterates him, just annihilates him in the paint, which he is highly capable of doing, then all of a sudden you're playing him to drive or take it inside, and all of a sudden he steps back. He can stroke it, man.
Yeah.
If he gets it going, you better look out because he got it going last night from the three-point line. And can you imagine how much worse this devastation would have been last night if LeBron James hadn't wasted so much of his time and so many possessions shooting jump shots? LeBron, outside the paint last night, was 1 for 8. He was 1 for 6 from the three-point line. I tell you, he's going to fall back in love and fall into the trap, the three-point shooting trap. I warned you, 1 of 6.
Don't worry about LeBron.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Get Kawhi's ankle healthy.
Okay, but here's the point. And by the way, that's the one guy on planet Earth who can guard and control LeBron James, and now he's got a bad ankle, so you got another huge break.
He
That's
just averaging
okay.
28, 7, and 7 against Kawhi, but go ahead.
1 for 8 was LeBron outside the paint, or this would have been an even bigger annihilation because nobody on the Boston Celtics can keep LeBron from the rim. For the Celtics, and for LeBron, it was like driving on Miss Daisy, right? Because they're all Miss Daisies, right?
Yep.
They're all Miss Daisies. Here, I'll drive on that Miss Daisy or that Miss Daisy or you Miss Daisy because he's basically calling them all Miss Daisies. Am I right?
Ooh, left hand.
Okay, and you mentioned this play, but all you needed to know about last night happened with 53 seconds left in the first quarter. This summed up this whole sweep of a series versus Boston. Kelly Olynyk, check this out. He's isolated on LeBron. LeBron turns his back on him. He said, "Are you serious?" Turns his back and dribbles between his legs once just to say, Really, I'm offended that you guys think Kelly Olynyk can get isolated on me and have any prayer. And then what's he do? He turns back and faces him between the legs, and takes him right down the lane. And he decided that he wasn't even worth slamming it on. He wasn't even going to dunk on poor Kelly Olynyk. He just said, you know what? I'm going to shame you even worse. I'm just going to lay it easy off the glass. That's it. That's all you got. Kelly Olynyk, the hero of Game 7 versus the Wizards, when he came off the bench, scored 26 points with his man bun, right?
Yeah.
He man bunned them, right?
Yep.
26 points, the Wizards. He scored 2 points last night. None of these guys play any defense. The Wizards don't play any defense. The Celtics really don't play that great a defense. I know they have a reputation for being a pretty good defensive team, but they're pretty good in the Eastern Conference, but they're not pretty good in the bigger picture. And when the Cavaliers decide to play defense, which they did in the first half last night, they're pretty good.
And for the first 7 minutes of the third quarter, they decided, and then all of a sudden.
You know what? That's a good point, because it was 61-39 at half, and then Boston was allowed to win the second half 65-56. Kind of a bad sign, I guess, but it's classic Cavaliers. It's what they've been doing all year. I missed the point, and I missed the boat, because they went 500 over their last 46 games, and they fell to 22nd in the NBA in defense, because they just didn't care enough about the Eastern Conference. They knew what was coming because nothing was coming. All they cared about was Golden State or San Antonio. It would have been San Antonio if not for Zaza. We'll talk about that later. But the point is that this is just another cakewalk of a game. And can we be serious about the Celtics?
Okay.
I love to watch Isaiah Thomas. I love his heart. I love his guts. He fought through the tragic loss of his sister. We get all that. He's had a really good playoff run. They're going no place with 5'9" Isaiah Thomas as their primary ball handler and scorer. He's just too little against a good team. And the Cavaliers are obviously a very good team, because he's a liability on defense, number one. Where do you hide him? It's hard to hide him.
You can't.
You just can't. And then when you get up against good perimeter defenders, JR, Shump, LeBron, even Kyrie, when he decides to, Kyrie can play defense.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, his production, little Isaiah's, it just shrinks because he's only 5'9".
Right.
So you're not going to win a championship with 5'9" Isaiah Thomas as your shoot first point guard, right? He's not really a great distributor. He just scores.
Right.
And he can score like crazy until he runs into the Cavaliers. And then it's a mismatch. And in the first half, it was 61-39. And then they kind of let Boston, okay, you guys can have all this garbage time in the second half, right?
Yeah. But Skip, here's the thing. If LeBron and one other of the big three goes for 30, and you let Tristan Thompson get 20 points, you're not beating him. You can't let two of the big three score 30 apiece and then give Tristan Thompson 20. And if you think about it, they only ran one play for Tristan Thompson last night. Everything else was offensive rebounds or him diving to the basket.
I can't believe they ran one play for him.
Well, they ran the double pick. Kyrie came through first, and then he followed behind him. LeBron hit him, and boom, he dunked the ball. But other than that, Skip, and that's what you have to do. But here's the thing. LeBron has had to play this well in the playoffs, Skip. You know why? Because Kyrie is struggling. He's struggling. He's shooting 27% from the three. He's shooting below 40% in the playoffs from the field. So LeBron has had to be great because Kyrie hasn't been what we know Kyrie to be.
You know what? I disagree with your premise. I think Kyrie hasn't had to be great because the competition has been so bad.
No.
Kyrie will be great when he's needed to be great.
Skip. So what are we saying here? So LeBron,
We're saying that Kyrie is the closer for the Cavs, and they haven't had any situations that required closing.
Because why?
Because Paul George in the first round had chance after chance to make it tough on them and failed miserably. Nope, didn't need him.
Did you hear what he said last night?
He said he wasn't that great.
Yeah! He said, I'm going to play better.
He's just shaming him.
Not better. I'm going to play better on Friday in game 2. What does that mean, Skip? Somebody's in a heap of trouble. You know what a heap is, Skip?
Do I?
But yeah, you probably your laundry in your college dorm room was piled up in a heap.
It was.
I see. I know.
I did it myself. Every Thursday.
Not me.
No, you sent it out?
Send it out
You're a
where?
big star.
You okay, send it out.
Huh?
No.
No?
Put those quarters in there and then,
I know.
and then we found a way to rig the machine that you could slide the quarters in there just a little bit and it'll start and you pull it out and keep your money.
You cheated the machine at Savannah
Yeah, 50 cent
State?
was a lot of money.
You better be giving money back to that school because
Skip.
you owe them.
50 cent was a lot
Karma
of money.
will get you.
1986, do you know how far 50
Yeah.
cent could have gone?
Yeah.
Okay then. You make it seem like Mary Porter had a boatload of money.
You know what they say about karma? It's the same thing that Draymond called LeBron, right?
He called him a baller.
He did. Yeah, karma's a boss.
Called him a baller.
All right?
I bet they won't call him. LeBron said, you know what? Y'all can call me what you want to. Don't call me collect and don't
Yeah.
call me at 5:30
Yeah.
because Savannah and I are sitting down with the kids and we having dinner. So those are the only 2 times you can't call me. Other than that, I deal with you when I see you.
I wish I were calling this the Bulls versus Cavs Eastern Conference
We'd have
Finals.
swept them. We'd have
Just
swept the Heat.
Just the way the Bulls swept you in the regular season,
Yep.
4-0. Really?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, he can hang with.
I
LeBron.
remember when the
He can cause
Bulls.
problems.
Joy, you remember this? When the Bulls beat the Heat 3-1, Derrick Rose was the MVP, 62-20 record. What-
That was the Heat. They had Dwayne Wade. That's a different team.
Yeah. You see Wade
Made
now?
a different
You-
stuff.
All I know is that all I know
We're
now.
not talking about Wade
is
now.
look
We're
at my
talking about
guy.
Wade then.
Still the baddest guy on the planet, Skip. At what point does he start to slow down, Skip? I think I want to do a topic one day this week. Or maybe on a Saturday. Just me and you. I'm coming over. I'm going to put Hazel in a pen. It's just me and you.
Just the two of us.
Yeah. When is it going to slow down, Skip? At
When is LeBron going to slow down?
Yeah.
I guess when he gets traded to the West, or maybe he decides to join forces with somebody in the real conference.
But you notice,
Then maybe it's slow
do
down.
you notice, Skip? Everybody wants to go west, like there's gold out there. Paul George wants to go west. Kevin Durant stayed west. Everybody stays west.
What's where the real basketball?
No!
Yes.
I've heard they say they'd rather bust a pimple on a gorilla's back than face LeBron in the Eastern Conference.
That's what they say.
That's what they saying. That's a bad man, Skippy. You won't give him no. But you know what? He gonna make you a believer.
How do you know gorillas have pimples?
I know everything. Silverback.
A silverback?
Yeah, in the Virunga Mountains.
Have you ever busted one of their pimples?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, Jane Goodall told me.
Really? Interesting.
No, but I studied them.
Well, I'm just missing the days of competition. I missed that her Heat missed the playoffs by a game because Deion Waiters got hurt, because Deion Waiters
What
was
about
giving
the-
your man all he
What
wanted
about
in
the first 40 games, Skip? Was Deion
like
Waiters
meant
there?
to be. The basketball god said, let there be LeBron.
The basketball god is 23 in Cleveland.
Oh, so he is the god.
The basketball god.
So he decreed that Rondo would fracture his thumb and that Deion Waiters would bust up his ankle. Yep. And that Kawhi would get
We
sidelined.
were going to bust them up if they'd have came to Cleveland. So, I mean, look, Skip, all that other stuff, you play who you play. But you and I both know, deep down inside, you know that's the baddest man walking when it comes to this thing called basketball. Now, we can get all this, he's scared of the West, but nobody want to see that man. When that man playing like this here, ain't no stopping.
I will say this. I think the Celtics have a slim chance in Game 2. That will be their best chance.
Slim on vacation.
You know? So it's none?
No, yeah, exactly.
You know? So I do think that'll be the game that'll be interesting. I think it'll be a close game that will go to the wire.
Can we get a do?
No.
I'm gonna give you
You're
points.
the one who said they're
Hold on,
going to
can
lose the game. I told you it's
I
going to
give
be a
you points.
sweep.
I give you points.
I am so ahead of this curve on LeBron. I can tell you how every game will play out. In fact, last night I said it'd be 111 to 101, and with a minute 14 left, it was 111 to 100. So I was like in the ballpark of how the final score would play out. And I'm telling you, Game 2 will be the game where Boston will get angry and just play on pure pride, and it will be a battle.
No mercy. Joined now by actor, comedian, and the host of the I Am Rappaport podcast, Michael Rappaport. Welcome back to Undisputed. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
You are Rappaport.
I am Rappaport.
Yeah?
I am Rappaport.
We
Skip.
okay.
Don't worry. I am. Trust me.
I Am Rappaport
I'll prove
stereo
it.
podcast.
Stereo. You know it's in stereo.
Yes.
It's a podcast that is in stereo.
Conor McGregor says he has signed a, quote, record-breaking deal to fight Floyd Mayweather. Dana White told TNT that McGregor's part is done. Now it's time to work on Mayweather's deal. Michael, would you buy a Mayweather-McGregor fight?
I will watch the fight. I will not spend my money I will either go to Shannon's, Skip's, or your house. I'm not spending my
Stop
money.
being cheap.
I'm not spending my money on that. It's a joke. I'd rather watch, two 7-year-olds or my dog fight another dog in the park playfully because it's gonna be like a little puppy fight. It's gonna be that fight is going to make Pacquiao versus Mayweather look like the Thrill in Manila. It's gonna look like Ali Frazier won. That fight's going to be a joke. Conor McGregor is not a boxer, just like Floyd Mayweather is not an MMA guy. Just like, just have him do track and field. Have him play.
Nobody has an advantage, huh?
That's what I'm saying. It's like a different sport. It's just like Michael Jordan. Is he going to be as great at baseball? Of course not. No, but Bo Jackson lived once. There was only one guy like that was great at both sports. Conor McGregor is the best at what he does. Floyd Mayweather is the best at what he does. It's going to be terrible for boxing. For somebody who loves boxing like I do, who grew up watching the great fights, the Ali fights, the Sugar Ray Leonard fights, the Marvin Hagler fights, even the Tyson era, it's going to be the end of boxing. It's going to be the end of big.
You sure it hasn't already?
It's already done, but they're going to try to revitalize it, and as soon as it starts, these guys are going to promote the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Both of them talk great crap. Conor McGregor has stolen everything Floyd Mayweather does, okay? And he's a white guy doing it, which is a factor into it. So you're going to have a white guy talking crap, a black guy talking crap, and then we're going to have a little puppy fight. Floyd Mayweather's going to be tapping him up. It's bloody his nose. He should be fighting like Paulie Malignaggi if he's lucky. That'd be even a worse fight. Paulie would just dismantle this man. Dismantle him.
Michael, you were sounding like the rock-headed boxer you played in Mighty Aphrodite. Remember that?
Great performance.
It was all time.
Great performance. Mira Sorvino won an Oscar. I was right there supporting
but
her.
you carried her to the Oscar.
I carried her.
You were good. You know Mighty Aphrodite?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Woody Allen, great performance.
You got to check it out. You got to rent it.
Are you going to spend your own hard-earned money?
We're gonna be at the fight.
Ernestine is going to let you spend your own
We're
hard-earned
going to
money.
be at the fight.
Can I come? Because I'm not. You're going for free. You're not spending your money.
I'm walking Floyd in the ring.
What you are forgetting is that Floyd may or may not weather is 40 years old, and he hasn't had a meaningful fight for 2.5 years.
That's not his fault. We paid all the money for Pacquiao.
I
I don't
but
care about the shoulder.
tore his rotator
I
cuff.
love Pacquiao. He
So do
wouldn't
I.
beat him on his best
He
day.
would too. He would have beaten him that day. He almost did beat him that
Well,
day.
you want
Almost beat him. Wasn't it 12 rounds to nothing?
I don't know why, because Floyd ran the whole
When
fight.
you talk about going to Germany,
Are you talking about Manny Pacquiao? He loves Germany.
What? What are you implying?
I ain't implying nothing.
People like to travel. He likes to travel.
To go to Germany?
LeBron likes to travel. Pacquiao likes to travel. Lance
and they
Armstrong liked to
picked
travel.
Germany.
Yeah,
I want to see this fight for the simple
For
fact.
what reason?
Because I want Floyd to tear his.
But he's not going to knock him out.
No, I don't want him
He's
to knock
going to
him out.
bloody him up.
Because if you knock somebody out, you let them take the cheap way out. I want to beat you for 12 rounds. That's what I want.
You want that as a boxing fan?
I want it.
You want to sit there and see that?
I want- 'cause
Shannon, as soon as it's going to be like. It's gonna be like a making love, and you kiss somebody with the worst breath ever. That's what it's gonna be like. And you keep eating all that hummus. That's what it's gonna be. Okay.
With garlic,
It's
right?
with
No-
garlic.
no
That's
hummus
what
with
it's gonna be.
garlic.
It's gonna be like the greatest date, the most beautiful man, woman, and you kiss them, and you're like, yo, what's in your mouth, man?
Michael, have you watched UFC?
Yes, I watch it all the time.
Have you watched Conor?
Yes.
Because he actually boxes more than he wrestles.
But-
When he got knocked out by Nate Diaz, even in his greatest fights, he's never punched somebody and knocked them out with one punch.
Yes, he has.
What, the one guy running
Oh,
at
no.
him? But he was running at him trying to do a UFC move. Floyd's not running at him. That's not happening. That guy
Floyd will
walked.
be running from him.
And Floyd Mayweather he's not gonna knock him out, but Floyd Mayweather punches hard. He's
He
gonna
does
bloody.
not punch hard.
Yes, he
It's
does.
like a pillow fight.
Those are stiff, hard punches.
Stiff, hard punches. He hasn't knocked anybody out since 1999.
And
Justin Juco.
He's not going to
Look it
knock
up.
out Conor McGregor, but we're going to feel so stupid and so suckered.
Stupid?
We're going to feel so suckered after the first round. I'm talking as a boxing fan. I'm not even a
Right.
Floyd Mayweather fan. As a boxing fan, I'm disgusted. I'm embarrassed that we're going to sit there and watch this thing.
You know what this is going to be? This is going to be Larry Holmes and Tex Cobb.
Larry, Conor McGregor on his best day wishes he could be the great Tex Cobb.
But I'm saying that's how he gonna bludgeon him like that.
Bludgeon him.
Bludgeon? When has he ever bludgeoned anybody?
Skip.
He's 40 years old. The
He's
other guy's
fighting a guy
28.
you'd have a better
Hey.
chance of getting in the ring with
I
Floyd.
would not. Listen, Conor McGregor is the baddest man on this
In
planet.
UFC. And LeBron
No,
James.
in anything. Just put him in a ring. Put him
Well, I
in
want to see him
whatever.
fight Tyron Woodley. Will he fight him?
Probably. He'd probably fight anybody. He'd probably
wanna
fight him tonight in some alley.
No, he don't want to fight that dude.
That's in the different sport. We're talking about boxing. We know that he beat them up in real life, but this is not real life.
That's what I'm
Okay?
trying to tell
I
you.
know, everybody knows that you would kick Shannon's butt in real fight, but we're not having that happen. In a back alley, we know Skip would do that, but theoretically, who cares about that? And everybody knows that Joy would kick both of your butts, but we're not talking about that. We're
That
talking
is
a
true.
boxing fight with rules and regulations.
Okay, you
8-ounce
realize
gloves.
Connor is ambidextrous. He's left-handed, but he fights right-handed. He's
Blah,
got
blah,
both.
blah.
Blah, blah, blah. I think you're underestimating
I
the
write with my
punching
right
power.
hand and throw with my left hand. No one's making any big deal about
I'm making a big deal out of it. I'm
ambidextrous.
afraid.
Yeah, I mean, I just think for me as a boxing fan, it's going to be the end of these big bouts. You had this Canelo Chavez Jr. fight. It was a joke. And we're going to have
He
all
got
this.
robbed. Some stripper stole his $3 million check.
Yeah, well, he wasn't paying attention there either.
But what they going to do with a $3 million check? Who catches a $3 million check?
Dumb robbers that rob a guy who I wouldn't even give him the satisfaction of robbing him. He didn't deserve to get robbed.
Skip, you know how this goes.
I know how it's going to turn out. This is going to be a one-punch fight, and Floyd's going to catch it right in the jaw.
And he's gonna get knocked
And for
out.
the first time ever, he's going to find himself looking up in those lights.
And knocked out.
Yeah, down for the count.
Skip, I'll spend the money on it. Let's make the bet. And after Floyd beats him in 12 rounds even, that's going to be the money. So I get my money back somehow. Or you and
I
Ernestine.
get odds because Floyd's going to be the overwhelming favorite.
No, why you want odds?
Why you want odds? You just say he's going to knock him out.
Because I need the Vegas odds in my favor.
Well, I'll give
No,
you whatever
I'll bet
odds you want. When it gets closer, whatever odds you want. I
Good.
just want my
You said it's gonna be a
$69.99.
joke.
It's going to be
Oh,
a
it's gonna
$100
be
fight.
$100.
Pacquiao, what you call it, was 99?
Yeah, and I'm still in the hole for that.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
still $99 in the hole for that.
I bought the Canelo Chavez fight. At least the Golovkin and Canelo going to be a fight.
Yes, exactly. That's boxing. This has turned into a joke. It's a circus. It's more than a circus than it's ever been.
But we're all going to be watching.
No mercy.
Our next guest was a 14-time Pro Bowler with the Chiefs and Falcons. Only Jerry Rice caught more passes in NFL history. His 111 touchdown receptions are tied for the most ever by a tight end. We've got a real tight end on set now.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we? Oh.
Actually, we've had a tight end on this show, and now we have the tight
The
end
tight
in the
end.
Fox family.
Shots fired.
We want to welcome you.
Yes,
to
he's
our
the
Thank you.
newest Fox
Thank you. It's
Sports
good to be
NFL
here.
analyst, Tony
Mr. Skip.
Gonzalez. Welcome to Undisputed.
Thank you. Come on, man. Tell me, welcome. Say something.
You want to tell Skip about that game in Kansas City
What game?
in 2002?
He knows
every
number
time.
from every game, every
Just
stat.
tell Skip. I don't know what happened. Tell Skip what happened.
Should he tell? Okay, so we're playing against, what team did you play for again?
Broncos.
The Broncos, right? And we put this linebacker, our slowest linebacker, cover 2, means the middle safety's open, and he's just running down the field, had around
Wide open.
200 yards. I think it was more coaching than ability, no offense. And he had a big day. You had a big day. Congratulations.
Well, mate, you know what? It wasn't that they had a big day. It was just that somebody had a front row seat. When you put a virtuoso performance, you want everybody to see it.
Yeah, wait a second. Is that my pen? Is that?
No.
Where's the pen at?
What pen?
The one that says world's greatest tight end.
All right, I lost it. How you get to be the world's greatest tight end?
Give it back to me.
You got to be in the conversation for world greatest tight end. You got to win at least 5 playoff games. Where's your number?
I'm at
1.
What?
What?
What are you talking? Football is a team sport. Skip would tell you this. Football
it's
is
a team sport.
Am I right?
Skip.
Yeah.
It's a team sport, isn't it?
yeah.
No, I'm not a quarterback. I
Wait,
play
who
tight
had the
end.
better numbers, though?
Yeah.
He played 100 years.
Played 100
If I collect cans for 20 years, how many cans you think I'm going to have?
I don't know, but he was collecting touchdowns.
I wasn't a touchdown maker, Skip.
Oh, you
I get
weren't
them yards. I
touchdown
get them
maker?
yards, Skip.
Oh, so that day in Kansas City, did you keep running by his bench saying, take that?
Oh, you saw him, Skip. He was so tell him what you said. Man, I'm so disappointed. I can't believe they would do that.
I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah,
What are
you
talking
did.
about? I didn't say that. You had a good
mean,
day. You had a good day. Who was throwing to you?
214 to 60.
Who was throwing to you?
Brian Greasy.
Was it Brian Greasy?
Yeah,
Okay, never
me and
mind.
the Grease man.
But you had John Elway, though. That was a good, he was a
Yeah,
good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Oh, was it?
It's nice to play with a Hall of Famer.
Oh, was he?
Hold up, you
Nice
had
to play with a Hall of Famer, huh?
You played with Elvis Grbac. Did Elvis Grbac go to the Pro Bowl? How many quarterbacks you played for that didn't go to the
Elvis,
quarterback?
you just brought up Elvis.
No, I'm just
Grbac?
asking.
Yesterday, Tom Brady's wife, Giselle, was on CBS This Morning and surprised a lot of people by saying Brady has suffered from concussions in his career. Let's take a listen.
He had a concussion last year. I mean, he has concussions pretty much. I mean, we don't talk about it, but he does have concussions. And I don't really think it's a healthy thing for your body to go through through that kind of aggression, like all the time. And that could not be healthy for you, right?
The NFL released a statement saying there are no records that indicate that Mr. Brady suffered a head injury or concussion or exhibited or complained of concussion symptoms. Today, we have been in contact with the NFLPA and will work together to gather more information from the club's medical staff and Mr. Brady. We're joined by Chris Carter. Welcome, Chris.
Welcome.
Chris, what do you make of this?
It's an unusual situation. First of all, you have to realize that the wife of a professional athlete, especially of a quarterback, and what they go through emotionally. Football is a brutal game. And there is no more glamorous but brutal position to play than quarterback. Mm-hmm. And I just know from my siblings and from my ex, watching those games were excruciating. Now, did it pave the way for us and everything? But the actual act of it and doing it, it's very, very tough. This is what I know for a fact. I know that every guy that's playing in the league, they have someone out there that loves them, swear up and down they shouldn't be out there. And they are not a doctor. Now, did she actually know that he had a concussion? Or do you have, like you do after the game, you might have a headache, but you don't have to have getting hit. It could be from the adrenaline, it could be from lack of sugar, it could be a number of things that would make you feel after a game.
You ain't eight hours?
Right. So I've seen many wives make mistakes in this area, trying to make diagnosis, and even my ex trying to diagnose for me when I was gonna play, should I be playing? And most of the time, it was, you shouldn't be playing. I was very, very fortunate, especially through the middle of my career. First year, I missed the training camp. Last year, I missed training camp. But in those other 14 years, 13 of those years, I played the 16 games. But there was many times that I was under the advice of my significant other that you shouldn't play. I have a bit of empathy for anyone that watches them go through that. It is tough to do. Was she right? Was she wrong? She wasn't either one. She's a wife. Could she have made a mistake? Did he have a concussion? I don't know that. But in talking with someone in the NFL, I don't think it's going to go any further than this. This is not the first time that we've had a report about a player, however it came, even being from the wife, that a player had an injury. Richard Sherman, there was an issue with him, unreported injury. So this part is not new. But being a wife, I will give her a little more latitude. The reason why, because I don't believe that she's a doctor. Do I believe that there was something communicated to her, that Tom might have had something in the last couple of years, and even this year, wrong with his head or a headache? Yes.
This isn't earth-shattering news. If you play in the NFL, it's not if, it's when. It's gonna happen. You play not a contact. NFL football is a collision sport. You got big men running into bigger men at a high rate of speed. So when those bodies collide, there's gonna be some head trauma occasionally. But you guess what? Here's the problem. Tom Brady says, I want to play till I'm in my mid-40s, maybe even longer. How did Tom Brady get the job, Skip? A guy got hurt.
Mo Lewis.
Drew Bledsoe had just signed the contract for $103 million. Tom Brady got drafted. He was a sixth-round draft pick. Mo Lewis knocks Drew Bledsoe out. Drew Bledsoe never took another starting snap for the New England Patriots.
Yep.
Tom Brady doesn't want to get Wally pipped. This is what we call pillow talk. He probably told his wife, I think I got a concussion. He told her that in confidentiality. But sometimes when you get she's on a book tour, I guess she's got a book, she gets to talking, and before she knows, she's let the cat out of the bag. Well, if Tom Brady didn't tell the New England medical staff, how do they know? And the reason why you don't tell medical staff about every little thing, because football don't have guaranteed contracts. Baseball players miss a game for a split nail, a stomach ache, foot hurt. So do basketball. In football, without them guaranteed contracts, do you actually think I told every bump and bruise I had, I told the Greek, the training staff, or when I went to Baltimore, Bill Tessendorf? No!
Absolutely not.
So this...
And if we were playing today, it would be a game of hide and seek.
I ain't telling
Now,
you.
people can say whatever they want to. That's my choice. This is my body. Given the protocol of concussions now and seeing how and my desire to play, that's the chance that I would be taking.
So, Skip, this is
I
not.
love your word choice as far as pillow talk, because basically you're going to confide in that person to stuff that you're not going to tell the team doctor and that you're not going to tell your teammates.
Because you assume Skip is not going to get out.
Okay, gut feeling on each of your parts. Did he suffer a concussion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do I believe he told the medical staff? Probably not.
I think that this is the thing. Just like in the court of law, the reason why a lawyer asks you a bunch of questions, because eventually you'll tell the truth, because the truth's in there. I don't think she made it up. And she said the key thing. We don't talk about this. But that was after she had said he had a concussion this year.
No, what she meant is we. All of us don't talk about it. But he and I, we talk about it.
Yep. So Shannon and I had to react quickly off the top of our heads yesterday when this story broke. And I had not had time to digest and research how did this play out. I hadn't seen what we just got to see of the live Giselle.
Correct.
And I must say, I feel a little better watching her talk because she came across as a little more off the top of her head than I thought she was in print, where she's just kind of free associating and it starts to spill and it goes a little farther. And then she caught herself. She said, he has a concussion pretty much, ... And then she stopped. And I think she was going to say every year. Every game or every year.
Yeah.
It could be every year.
Yeah.
Pretty scary if that's true. But I thought back through my mental bank. I mentioned this to you yesterday. Not once have I ever seen Tom Brady stumble and wobble off a football field. Not one time. The way I saw Julian Edelman run headlong into, who was it? Seattle.
It was
Cam. His Cam.
Right.
Remember, they both took the worst of it.
Right.
And Edelman kind of wobbled the sideline, and then the concussion protocol should have kicked in, and it didn't. There was a lot of controversy about that because he came back in to make a couple of big catches that helped turn the game back around. So I feel better for Brady's sake that I haven't seen him wobble off. I'm with you on, listen, quarterback is the most vulnerable position in the most violent game because obviously if you're speed reading a defense that's changing by the split second, you know, I'm going 1, 2, 3, and I'm not thinking about what's coming over there. And somebody might get a clear shot and just clock me.
That blind side.
And I won't even know it. I won't even feel it, because half the time you just don't see it coming. And you just get rocked.
Yep.
And obviously the head can be the first thing to go. But she came across more to me as an overprotective wife, as she should be. Because she said, I want us to be 100 years old, being able to do things with our kids.
Right.
Right, no doubt.
And I got it.
I mean, there's a
You got it.
tremendous
Yeah.
amount of fear
Right.
in those associated with the men who have played this game. Yeah, and it rightfully so.
And her husband isn't just saying, I need to play a couple of more years.
No.
He wants to play maybe past 45.
Now it goes back to the conversation that she was having around the Super Bowl. It gives us a little insight. That's why she said she would hope that he would retire soon.
Yeah.
Tom Brady in conflict said, I'm going to play as long as I want. But if she had this type of information, it would lead me to believe I can understand at this point with 5 championships and if he's had a number of concussions, why she would want that. And obvious, money is not the reason to go out there anymore.
No, he's made more money than he can spend.
She's
making money. But Skip, when this is about him wanting to stay on the field, because I believe there are some injuries that he doesn't report, because the best way to make sure he gets to play and continuously take snaps as the starting quarterback from New England is to keep Garoppolo off the field.
Yeah.
Now, Bill Belichick, I believe he believes in Garoppolo.
Yes.
Tom Brady knows he believes in him also, because everybody else by now, they're gone. Brian Mallett was gone. Brian Hoyer was gone. Rohan David was gone. All these guys were gone. Jimmy Garoppolo's still there. And
regardless of how good Tom Brady is, Tom Brady should be at the point we should be celebrating him. But because of the way the media is now and the way it's driven by bad news. So to me, this shouldn't be a big deal. You know, to me, Tom Brady Not one of the greatest athletes, but truly one of the great warriors we have seen play in the NFL. Right. And this is what we want. See, we have a double standard. We have all the concussion information, but we don't want guys to push through everything because we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen in 20 or 30 years. We have seen our predecessors, and we have hoped that we have changed the rules to make it better so that young kids can enjoy the game that you and I have made a living off of. Yes, but this is a dangerous game.
So bottom line, do you think Belichick is going to hang on to Garoppolo because of cumulative concussions suffered by Tom Brady?
He's going to hang on to Garoppolo because he's not going to get caught without that bridge from Tom Brady to the next quarterback because he's seen it far too many times. That's why he Tom Brady and Mr. Kraft keep putting that 45 in 7, 8 more years. Yes. Bill Belichick ain't having that. Skip, I got in 1996, we played in the Jets' first game of the season. I caught a shallow cross. I turned up. Now, I didn't see the safety coming from inside. Skip, he hit me so hard, I had a shield. He cracked it, just like you crack a windshield.
Who was it? Do you remember?
Gary Jones. And I just, Skip, everything was just silent. And I could just hear the Jets player saying, that'll way to bring that wood, Jones. That'll way to bring the wood. And I'm saying to myself, what wood? We ain't in no woods. Skip, man, that might have been one of the hardest. And I took one under the chin, ran a flat route. And the linebackers walked. So normally when the linebacker walks against another tight end, we think it's man. John thought it was man. I thought it was man. It was cover 2. I caught that flat route. Linebacker hit me right up under my chin. Guess what happened, Skip? I went one way, helmet went another way, the ball went another way.
Concussion?
I still played. I had to have something.
Yeah, I've never been knocked out of a game. I've never had a recorded concussion. But there were several times that I had to have a concussion.
Yeah.
Orlando Thomas caught me up there in 96 too, his knee. He intercepted the ball. I ran a far cross. He jumped up, he intercepted the ball, but his knee caught me right up under the chin.
Is that the time I caught that one in the corner of the end zone against y'all with the 2-toe tap?
Yeah.
She was like, goodness gracious.
But we got y'all. We got him back. Eddie Mack on like a 5-player tip drill. He caught it in the back of the end zone, like 40 seconds left in the game.
True.
No mercy. The Celtics won the first overall pick in Tuesday's NBA draft lottery. Boston had the Brooklyn Nets pick from a 2013 trade for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Yesterday, Pierce told ESPN, you trade this pick because Markelle Fultz cannot help the Celtics get over the top. The window is now. You're a 50-win team. You're the #1 seed. You have to build on this momentum. If you can acquire a Paul George, Jimmy Butler, or Gordon Hayward from Utah, you have to do it. We're joined by NBA champ Eddie House. Welcome back, Eddie.
Thank you.
Hello,
Good
Eddie.
morning.
Good to have
Good
you.
morning.
Skip, let me start with you. Do you agree that the Celtics should trade the #1 pick?
I agree with what Paul said about Markelle Fultz. To me, he's just a nice player. Maybe you've seen him more than I have, but I like what I see, but I just don't love it because he's your basic 6'4" 2 guard. He can pass it and distribute it a little bit, but I don't think he's a point guard at all. And I'm still troubled by the fact that he played most of the games, all but 5 games last year, and they went 9-22 in Seattle, University of Washington, 2-16 in a conference you know very well, the Pac-12. So now back to Paul Pierce's premise. If you were going to trade this pick, it should have been done at the last trade deadline back in February 23rd.
Yes.
Because if you could have gotten Jimmy Butler, I don't know about Paul George. I don't know what he seems like he wants to go back home to the Lakers. But if you could have gotten Jimmy Butler, he can deal with LeBron a little bit, far more than Jay Crowder can. So if you gave Boston home court in this series plus Jimmy Butler, could they hang with them? Could they win a couple of games, make it interesting, make it competitive?
I would like their chances better.
I would like it.
Well, I was at Truth House last night. For those who don't know who the Truth is, that's Paul Pierce.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, we was there last night watching the game, and we talked about this extensively. And he hasn't really seen these guys play. Like Lonzo Ball, he's a transcendent player. He's a generational type player. I have to go grab him. And you don't trade him away to go get, because he made some good points. You could trade him, go get Jimmy Butler, then try to sign Gordon Hayward. And then now you have a shot.
You have a big 3.
But you only going to compete. As long as LeBron is there, all you doing is going to compete. You're not going to beat him. So do you, at the expense of your future, give that away when you can have a guy play for 10 years? Because LeBron's not going to play for 10 years. And your window could open back up. You have a small window here, and he could go through early in his rookie season, second and third year, some bumps and bruises and be in some big-time games. So when that window gets a little bigger, he's experienced and he's confident
are you with
to step
me
in.
Lonzo Ball, transcendent player.
Oh, man.
Once in a generation passer.
Yes, for sure. Like a quarterback, he passes you open.
Yeah.
I played with Jason Kidd, and I've seen this kid since high school. I watched him play in the semi-state championship game last year. I watched him in the Pac-12 tournament. I watched him all through the Pac-12 season. And and when he passes you open, it's always on the money. Sometimes somebody got to pass you open, you got to go down here.
Right.
No, shooter is in the shooter's pocket. On the lob is where only the guy could get. He made a pass against Kentucky in the tournament. I thought the ball was going out of bounds, and it landed right in the guy's hand, layup. I mean, you can't teach those things. Right. And when you have a guy that can affect the game without scoring by passing the basketball, you have to go and deal. You got to get him.
Okay, so I've agreed with you before about your Danny Ainge view, which is you're saying Danny Ainge is just waiting for LeBron to get old, right? And I agree with that. That's the way he's playing this whole game with all of his draft picks.
Right.
But you cannot pass up Lonzo Ball to me. And again, I want to see him with the Lakers just because it'd be such a good story to watch him running Magic Johnson's Showtime 2 fast break. You know, like it would be fun to watch. But if I'm the Celtics, I hate to say this, but you can't pass up Lonzo Ball. He's just too good. You would look back 3 years from now, 5 years, 7, 10 years, and you'd say, what were we thinking?
That's exactly what I said yesterday.
Okay, and LeVar sat right in that seat, his father, yesterday, and said, well, we don't want him to go to Boston because Isaiah needs the ball in his hands.
Right.
And you know what my answer is? I don't care because you can't win championships with Isaiah Thomas, and I love to watch him. But you know this, and he is 5 feet 9 inches tall. He's liability on defense, and against a good defensive team such as Cleveland or Golden State or San Antonio, he's going to have a hard time because they take him out of what he can do because he just can't get his shot off, inside or outside.
And not only that, if you see early on with the disrupt his rhythm, they trap him.
Yeah.
Now you got all this height, he can't make the pass out of the trap.
Right.
And a lot of times, even when he wasn't getting trapped, he was a little indecisive, and when he made a pass, guys were deflecting and getting hands on basketball. So you're right, he's a little too small to win a championship.
The point is, he was so ball dominant this year. He was 3rd in the NBA in usage rate, which is how long the ball's in your hands. It was Westbrook, it was James Harden, it was Isaiah Thomas. Well, LeVar's right. He don't want his kid to go get stuck in that.
Right.
Well, if you're going to draft Lonzo, you got to trade Isaiah.
Right.
Just go ahead and get what you can get for him. Well, I'm serious. Or you got to start getting back to his old role. When he first made his mark in the NBA, he was microwave coming off the bench. You know, he's Vinnie Johnson. Let him do that. Let him come off the bench and play two guard, light it up.
He can't come off the
No,
bench.
he can't come off
Well,
the
I'm
bench.
just saying that's what he used to do.
Averaging 29.
Well, that's what he used to do when he first got to Boston. And that's what he was doing in Sacramento.
I said what Paul Pierce said. I said it yesterday that I think Danny Ainge should trade this pick because if you're trying to compete, I don't care if Lonzo Ball. I think Lonzo is going to be a very good, very, very good player, but I don't see Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, or LeBron. Lonzo Ball is not going to put you over the top of the Cleveland Cavaliers as long as LeBron is playing at this level. He can't. Now, what Jimmy Butler can do, not only can he defend LeBron somewhat, but he can also go back at LeBron because that's what you got to do. Because LeBron right now, he's like Earl Thomas. He plays center field. He ain't really locking up on anyone. Now, late in the ball game, he'll go get a Paul George or he'll guard a Jimmy Butler or a Kawhi. But more times than not, they just want him to roam because they need all his energy for the offensive end. Now, I don't believe you can get Paul George. Paul George seemed to be hell-bent on going back west. You would be a fool to make this trade and Paul George not sign an extension because he's gone.
You just have to know it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, I think, would probably be more of a logical choice. Now, Gordon Hayward's in a unique situation. He can stay in this contract for $16 million this year, in 2017-18 season, and after the next season, he can opt out. He'll be a free agent. He can get 5 for $235. Or he can opt out now, get 5 for $175 from Utah, or get 4 from another team. Now, I know Brad Stevens was his coach. He don't $45, $50 million, $70 million love Brad Stevens. Because think about it. He signs a 4-year deal. They're like, okay, I'll do the deal. Skip, 130 versus 235.
But he's probably signing and opt out after 2 and then sign again.
I would stay with Utah, and I would play this year out, and I'm going to get that 235. Because think about it. Gordon Hayward is not beating LeBron James. We need to stop with all this.
Who said that? Because I don't love him. I've never loved Gordon Hayward. I don't think he's a difference maker. He had a nice year. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he went first time All-Star.
When they got to Golden State and they didn't have George Hill, their point guard, he did some nice things, but he's not going to beat Golden State.
Look at, I mean, look at that. Do you actually think Man Bun, Al Horford, and a 5'9" guy gonna beat the King?
I like him with his hair
You
down.
could add Jimmy Butler, you could add Paul George. They're not going to beat him. As long as he's playing, nobody in the East is going to beat them. I'm sorry.
But if
they
you-
have to create
look.
a team like Golden State where you have a 2-time MVP,
right.
another MVP, and 2 more All-Stars in your starting lineup.
But hypothetically, if in Boston you gave Lonzo a Kevin Love and a Kyrie, then it would be a matchup.
Yeah,
It
but you're
would be
taking them off
interesting.
a...
Well, I'm just saying, hypothetical.
I got
You know,
it.
somebody who would be equivalent. Well, there aren't that many equivalents because
It's not
LeBron's
no-
got them.
But who's equivalent to Kyrie? I don't know.
Nobody. And
Because-
as you say, he's not even producing right now.
He's not playing. But here's the thing, Skip. The problem is on the Boston Celtics is Isaiah Thomas. He's 5'9". He averages 29 points a game. What do we do? How do we build our team around a 5'9" guy? You normally build your team around a center or a LeBron James or a Kevin Durant. How do we build a team around a 5'9" guy? That's never been done before.
Who is a shoot-first point guard.
He's a two-guard masquerading
He
as
is,
a point.
no doubt.
And that's what most of these guys are. Most of them are two. They're not old-school Magic and John Stockton, Jason Kidd type guys. These are guys that can go get you 30. Oh, he wide open, let me give him the ball. They're not looking to get you open first. Magic was looking what Magic could score. John Stockton was, yeah, he gets you 12, 13 points a night, but he was really dishing the ball to the mailman. Isaiah Thomas is not in that mold. So you got a 5'9" guy that can get you 30 on a given night. But what pieces do we put around him? Because if we put guys around him that need the ball also, we take away from him. But if we put guys around him and he doesn't give them the ball, we take away from them. So what can they do, Skip? That's the problem.
You got to go get Lonzo Ball and build around him.
And so you move, so you say move out
I mean, you see if it works. You experiment with it the first year.
You
See
could.
if it works.
You could try.
And say, hey, man, okay, we're going to take some of the ball handling duties away from you and put you in positions to where you don't have to always dribble the ball and get trapped instantly. We're going to give it to you on
Trust
the
me,
break,
though,
and you're able to go.
You would have nights when both of those guys would be very unhappy.
Yeah.
They would clash. You
Skip.
know it, and I know it.
Skip, you know in the 80s, Norm Nixon, Magic Johnson. And what did they ended up doing? Because Norm Nixon was a very good point guard.
He was.
But he was a true point guard. But you got Magic. Magic couldn't play two. Magic is a true point. Norm couldn't play two, so you know what? Let's go ahead and move him and move on. So that's what you're gonna have to do. If you draft Lonzo Ball, you're gonna probably have to move. You're gonna have to move Isaiah Thomas.
I'm surprised you're not completely sold on Lonzo as transcendent.
Maybe I haven't watched enough. You say you watched him since high school, since he was a little kid. Hey, I'm gonna defer to you, but from what I've seen, I just
Wait, you won't defer
And
to
he's
me? I've been
6'6".
saying it now for
And
like
he's
3
6'6".
months.
He's legit 6'6", 6'7". Legit,
No, he's
though.
6'7".
He's legit.
Legit.
He's legit.
And he can rebound the ball. He can block an occasional shot on a smaller man in the lane. And he can make that funky three-point
But
shot.
not only that, you see how they guard the pick and roll now. He'll be able to get into the lane and no, you don't have to worry about how he shoots because the guard's going to be behind him and the big is going to be so far back. It's going to be easy shots. He could develop a floater. He can score. He's averaged 14 points in college. He can score if he wants to, but he is a distribute first point guard.
Skip, when you saw Magic Johnson, you knew he was that guy. When you saw Jason Kidd, you like, okay, that guy's special. I just don't see that. I don't see transcendent.
I do see this.
Watch some film on it.
Hey, this
Watch some games.
gift, the uncoachable, unteachable gift of seeing it and feeling it before it even happens.
Yes.
And hitting people on the money with passes they don't even see coming. You just, it's so rare. It's Magic-esque. I'm not saying he's going to be Magic.
Right.
But he's going to develop his, as LeVar says, his ball body, his man body pretty soon. He's going to weigh 220.
Well, I'm gonna hold out until I get my ZO2s. Once I get my ZO2s,
Then you ride.
yeah, I might have
Well,
to ride
I mean, it
with it.
seems like the rest of the NBA isn't necessarily sold that he's a generational player. There's still talk that he won't be the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
If
Or
everyone
number
thought
2.
he was that good,
Because
then
teams
he
are
would
talking,
be.
you know,
De'Aaron
Magic
Fox,
like
yeah.
De'Aaron
Yeah,
Fox.
it's still in the air.
I
So
don't know, man. I know he passes the eye test with me. I played with J. Kidd, and anybody that could affect the game without scoring
Right.
and make everybody around him better instantly, and that's the type of player he is. I just think
I know a guy like that. He's from Akron.
Oh, that-
Don't you know a guy like that?
when was he born?
December 30th, 1984. And he got a tattoo on his back that says "Chosen One."
Yep. Oh, he was born with the tattoo.
Yeah, came out. I don't know.
He was immaculate.
doesn't he also
right?
have loyalty on him?
I mean, she had I guess Gloria was like one day trying to come up with a name and a little ink. He got a little ache on the tongue, you know. And that was on his back.
No mercy. We're joined once again by Michael Rappaport. The Cavs and Warriors are combined 19-0 in the playoffs. Do you think their dominance is good or bad for the NBA?
It is what it is. Dominance is great. Celebrate the dominance. It's like you can't win, you can't lose anymore. If they're not doing good, something's wrong with them. If they are doing good, something isn't wrong with them. It's a rivalry. We all know where it's heading. Didn't matter that Kawhi went out. The Golden State Warriors are making it to the Western Conference Finals.
What?
It didn't matter. Just like it didn't matter when the Houston Rockets beat the Spurs to death in the game one. It didn't matter. This happens in series. This is the way basketball is. It's a series. You might come out flat. You lose by 33 points. Start up next game. It didn't matter. The dominance is great. People have been dominating the games, the NBA playoffs. The Boston Celtics with the overrated Bill Russell, 1956 through 68, 11 finals, the Bulls of the 90s.
Are you saying he's overrated?
Oh, I'm saying he's overrated. Because of that time. But I'm saying the Sixers, faux. This is what it is.
Bill
it happens.
Russell owned Wilt Chamberlain.
They keep saying he owned. Wilt averaged 28 and 28.
Yeah, he didn't own anything.
When it was time, Bill Russell took those games over at 6-9 against 7-1.
Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Tom Heinsohn.
And Dolph Schayes. He dominated Dolph Schayes. Okay, the one series, he dominated. Dolph Schayes, my uncle was better than Dolph Schayes. Okay.
That is not. Who was your uncle?
He was great.
George Mikan?
Oh, Artie Brody, he was fantastic. Okay.
In the Brooklyn League.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But in terms of dominance, I don't think it's hurting it. It's a rivalry. LeBron James, rivalry shaming. There's no rivals. No one compares to me. This is where it's heading. It's like the Celtics and the Lakers. Were we complaining about it in the 80s? No.
And it's not a, yes, I love it. I love it. Because guess what? In the 1980s, when everybody said that was the best era of basketball, the Lakers won 5 and the Celtics won 3. So in a 10-year span, 2 teams won 8 of the 10 championships. Let's go to the 90s.
Yep.
Chicago Bulls won 6, the Houston Rockets won 2.
When Jordan was out.
And then you got the Spurs at the tail end. In the 2000s.
Oh, you just threw it in like at the tail end. They only won 5, but that's okay.
I'm about to get to them right now.
Yes.
In the 2000s, the Lakers, they won 4. The Spurs won 3. Won 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 of the 10.
Yeah.
But that was dominance. Nobody had a problem with it. But now you got a problem. What you got a problem with is the King is doing it.
Oh, the King.
The King is doing it because he doesn't have
what?
any competition in the East. He don't have any competition in the East.
And you know who's the king of the West? Steph Curry, who's played the greatest game of rope-a-dope since Ali did it to Foreman. All season long. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, KD. No one mentions little Steph Curry. He's been playing possum all year, and now he looks sprightly. He's ready to go. He's the leader of that team.
Can I ask you a question
What?
before I turn this over?
Last year he was banged up.
No, I'm talking about it. If he's looking sprightly.
26 points a game this season.
Okay.
That's pretty sprightly.
Okay. I know he's.
And he finally finished puberty. He's got a full beard.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Skip, if you don't mind me asking Michael one thing. If Steph Curry's looking sprightly and played the rope-a-dope, what's King James look like?
He's looking like a guy who, for some reason, somehow, after playing 14 seasons in the NBA, God bless him, never gets injured. So many, how many injuries? How many injuries? Knock on wood. I don't want him to get injured.
That's glass. Knock on wood.
Shannon, I'll knock on wood. Shannon, when you played football,
yes,
you got injured.
Yes.
Okay, Lance Armstrong, cyclist. We know what he was doing. Yeah. Even he got injured.
Hold on.
Even he got injured.
No, what you trying to say, Mike?
I'm just saying, athletes get injured.
Are we connecting the dots?
Athletes get injured.
Oh, okay.
The great Sammy Sosa, he got injured. Roger Clemens, he got injured. Joy sprained an ankle a couple of weeks ago. She got injured. It happens, but not King James. I hope it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, 14 years, he didn't even sit down last night. He looks incredible. Did he go to Miami during his 10-day break?
No, he went to south of France.
This break?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I need to digest that.
That was reported by Shannon Sharpe.
He went to the south of France?
That's what he says.
Or did he go to Germany?
Hey, if it's a stop, if it's on the way, we might stop by.
Wow.
Hey.
Wait,
you mean the way Kobe went to Germany, or?
Yeah, and the way Lance Armstrong, he loved Germany.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I can't believe you. Jim Marshall played 20 years and didn't miss a game. Brett Favre played 299 games and didn't miss a game. So it happened. But go ahead, Skip.
So help me out here. Do we have a Magic versus Bird in Golden State versus Cleveland?
We should only be so lucky.
Is there a Magic and a Bird? I don't see a Magic or a Bird.
I mean, look, first of all, we got a guy that's better than both of them on one side of the equation.
Oh, we do?
It's not.
I don't have him better.
Bayless, stop. It's not even close.
Really?
Better than Magic Johnson?
LeBron James is better than Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Absolutely.
It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that ring.
He got 3 of them.
Yeah, Magic's got 5.
4 MVPs.
Yeah, he's great. He's fantastic.
So what are we talking about?
I'm not saying I love LeBron. He's fantastic. We could sit here and break chops all we want. But the reason why we don't have a Magic and a Bird here is because LeBron James, he refuses to acknowledge the rivalry. He acts like he's above everybody. You're not above everybody. You met this team 3 times in a row, assuming Golden State makes it there.
What made the Boston Celtics and LA a rivalry? Because it started in '56 and it went through.
No one was paying attention. It was 8 teams and it wasn't even an integrated league, Shannon. It was a joke back then.
But it
was a joke. 56.
The only difference between this and the Celtics and the Lakers is that nobody thought the Cleveland Cavaliers would ever win a championship, and the Golden State Warriors has not been good since Rick Barry, Wilt Chamberlain, and Nate Thurmond was there.
And the great world be free.
So
here's my issue. What just tears my guts out about all this is that the sprightly little Steph that
looking fantastic, who averaged 26 points a game.
So he gets to play at Portland without Yusuf Nurkic, and you're going to laugh at who he is, but if you checked him out at the end of the year when they went 14-5 after acquiring
I know Yusuf.
Mr. Nurkic, who's 7 feet tall and
goon.
highly skilled.
Goon.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a goon.
He's not a goon.
Yeah, no,
he
big
can
guy,
score.
and he could score.
Yeah.
Sprightly in the feet.
He would have given Golden State all it wanted in round 1, but he couldn't go. He broke his leg. And then we get to round 2, and Utah is without its point guard, George Hill. So you get another injury gods dictate the outcome of yet another series. And then you get to my Spurs, and you try to dismiss them as, it was just a one-shot deal. They had peaked. The reason they blew out Houston was partially James Harden, but also because they just started clicking on every cylinder. And they carried it right into game 1, and they were up 25 in the first half and 23 with 7:53 left in the third quarter when Zaza happened. It was a dirty play by a longtime dirty player, and it ended the series, boom, in one shot.
I totally agree with you. No, I totally agree with you.
So,
but I don't think that the Spurs were locked to win that series.
They were going. I picked them to win the series. They were going to win the series,
pick 'em
and
to
they
win
were
every
going.
series.
But they were going to be. I don't pick them to win every series. They were going to beat his team because my team has the number of that team, and I believe that team has Golden State's number. For whatever reason, it's just matchups.
why does everybody talk about LeBron's cakewalk, but nobody mentions about the Warriors that played in the finals against the Cavaliers without Kyrie and Love, and they just played against Portland without Nurkic. They just played George Hill, missed the last 4 games.
Didn't he just say that?
No, but that's what I'm saying, and Kawhi's out. But why is it that Golden State doesn't get the same
Western Conference, because the Western Conference is viewed as stronger.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
So how strong is the Western Conference if a team can lose their best player and you lose by 40 at home?
I agree, but this series isn't over. You don't think San Antonio's going to come out and play?
I'm talking about San Antonio beat the Rockets.
Oh, well, that was the disappearing act of 2017. You talking about James Harden?
Yeah.
The regular season MVP that you guys went on and on. What a disgrace it's going to be if this man wins the MVP on June 26th. What an embarrassment to the league.
If anybody wins it other than LeBron James, it's an embarrassment.
Well, listen. The James Harden disappearing act, the Doug Henning performance, he made David Copperfield look ridiculous.
He did.
LeBron,
are
you from Cleveland or are you from
LeBron
Georgia?
is not acknowledging a rivalry is because LeBron cannot be the villain. He cannot handle being the villain.
Ain't no rivalry. LeBron has no competition.
He is the villain.
No mercy. This is the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast, where we're delivering you an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the biggest topics of the day's show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Like us on Facebook at Undisputed on FS1, follow on Twitter at Undisputed, and catch us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, Monday through Friday on FS1. You can find us on Channel 219 on DirecTV, 150 on Dish. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. That's it for us on this Thursday. We're back on our favorite day of the week tomorrow. It's Friday, Dance Party Friday, to be specific, when we will be joined by Chris Carter, Rob Parker, and Nelly will be back at the desk. We'll talk to you then.
Fox Sports, 1 of 1.